Hey there, treasure hunters. Quick question, have you ever checked your pockets and wondered if that loose change could actually change your life? Well, today, we're diving into a story about a humble coin that's worth, wait for it, $3 million. Yes, you heard me right. That's more zeros than my bank account has ever seen. Let's talk about the 2000 Virginia quarter-dollar coin. Not just any quarter, but one with a secret that could make you rich. So grab your coin jar, because you're going to want to check it after this video. First, let's get to know our star of the show, the 2000 Virginia quarter. This beauty was part of the state quarters program and celebrates the state's 400th anniversary. On the back, you'll see a design featuring three ships, the Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, sailing towards Jamestown. But what's so special about this quarter? Isn't it just another piece of 25-cent change? Oh no, my friend, this coin has something magical about it. Here's the deal, most Virginia quarters are worth, well, a quarter. But there's a specific variation, a rare error coin, that collectors are absolutely losing their minds over. And that's the one that hit the market recently with a jaw-dropping price tag of $3 million. Why? It's all about a minting mistake. Some of these coins were accidentally struck on experimental planchets, that's fancy coins speak for the metal discs used to make coins. This error is as rare as finding matching socks on laundry day. Now, here's where things get interesting. Picture this, I'm at my grandma's house, rummaging through an old coffee can she keeps in her pantry. You know the kind, it's been there since the dawn of time, and the lid barely closes because it's stuffed with random coins. I'm casually flipping through quarters, not expecting much, and then I spot it. The Virginia quarter. My heart skips a beat. Is this the one? Am I about to hit the jackpot? Spoiler alert, no, it wasn't. But the adrenaline rush was real, and now I'm addicted to checking every quarter I come across. So, how do you know if you've got the $3 million jackpot in your pocket? Here's what to look for. Pay attention to the little letter by Washington's neck. D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, this is where it gets tricky. Error coins struck on experimental planchets usually weigh slightly less or more than a standard quarter. You'll need a jeweler's scale to check. If the coin looks a little off, like it's not quite the same shiny silver as other quarters, it's worth investigating. If you think you found one, don't just toss it back in your piggy bank. Get it checked by a professional coin grading service. They'll authenticate it and tell you exactly what it's worth, and even if yours isn't the magic coin, don't be discouraged. Collecting coins can still be a profitable and fascinating hobby. Plenty of other rare quarters, like the 1999 Delaware quarter with a spitting horse error, are worth a pretty penny too. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate your pocket change. That Virginia quarter could be your golden ticket. Well, silver ticket, technically, but you get the idea. Before you cash in that jar of coins for gas money, take a closer look. You might just discover a treasure hiding in plain sight. Imagine finding a tiny treasure in your pocket change, a regular old quarter that's worth a jaw-dropping $2.8 million. Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 2006 North Dakota quarter and why collectors are losing their minds over it. Spoiler alert, after this video, you'll be checking your change like it holds the winning lottery numbers. Now, let's talk coins, cash, and why your snack fund might secretly be a fortune. Alright, so the 2006 North Dakota quarter is part of the state quarters program. You know, those nifty designs that made us all pay attention to our change back in the day. On the reverse, there's a picturesque scene of bison grazing under a few Badlands buttes. It's a gorgeous design, but what makes this quarter so special? Drumroll, please, it's a rare error. This isn't just any quarter. One specific coin had a minting mistake so unusual that collectors have gone bonkers for it. The error? A double die strike that's super clear under magnification. Think of it as the coin's equivalent of an epic typo, except this typo adds 7 zeros to its value. Here's where it gets wild. this rare error coin sold for $2.8 million at auction. That's not a typo, folks. A quarter, something you can usually use to buy gum, sold for more than most people's homes. Makes you wonder if you've ever accidentally spent one, right? Excuse me while I cry over all the coins I've fed to parking meters. Now, how do you know if your 2006 North Dakota quarter is worth more than 25 cents? First, look for obvious double images on the bison or the lettering. It's subtle to the naked eye, so grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature. You're looking for what's called doubling, lines that appear like the design was stamped twice. Also, check the coin's condition. Coins with pristine surfaces, no scratches or stains, fetch a higher price. If you've got one, it's time to call a professional coin appraiser or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade it, which is key if you're looking to sell. Here's a fun little story. My Uncle Joe once told me he had a rare coin collection. We all laughed until he pulled out a shoebox with a pile of quarters. Spoiler alert, no $2.8 million bison in there. But the moral of the story? You never know what you might find if you look, so there you have it, folks. The 2006 North Dakota quarter, a tiny piece of history with a value bigger than most of our dreams. Who knew that a grazing bison could stampede its way into a millionaire's vault? Now, here's your homework. Go through your spare change, your old jars of coins, and maybe even that mystery pile in your car's cup holder. Who knows? You might strike it rich. And if you do, don't forget who sent you on this treasure hunt. You're holding something that could be worth $2.5 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we're talking about the 2013 Great Basin quarter dollar, a little piece of metal with a big story and an even bigger price tag. Stick around, because you don't want to miss this treasure tale. So, what makes this particular quarter so valuable? Let's rewind to 2013. The U.S. Mint released the Great Basin National Park quarter as part of the America the Beautiful series. It's a beautiful coin, featuring the iconic bristlecone pine tree, one of the oldest living organisms on Earth. But let's be real, not every Great Basin quarter is worth a fortune. Most of them are, well, just quarters. The real jackpot comes from a rare minting error that occurred in a small batch of these coins. This error gives the quarter a unique double die effect on the obverse. Basically, George Washington's face looks like he's had one too many cups of coffee. And guess what? Coin collectors are absolutely losing their minds over these. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was casually sorting through his coin jar one day. Now, Mike isn't exactly a coin collector, but he knows I'm obsessed. He found a 2013 quarter and thought it looked a little funky. So, he sent me a picture, and I nearly fell out of my chair. Sure enough, it had the double die error. Mike ended up selling that coin at auction for 6 figures. 6 figures. Let's just say he's not drinking cheap coffee anymore. Now, the $2.5 million coin we're talking about today. That's the holy grail of this era. This particular coin was preserved in pristine condition, and when it was graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, it scored a perfect MS-70. For those of you new to coin grading, that's like getting a perfect score on your SATs, except way cooler because it's worth millions. So, how do you know if you've struck gold, or silver, in this case? First, check the year, 2013. Next, look for the Great Basin design on the back. Then, examine George's face closely. If you see any doubling or anything that looks a little off, you might just have something special. And if you're not sure, take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service. Trust me, it's worth the effort. Now, before you go flipping over every quarter you see, let's talk about the market. The coin world is like the stock market. Values go up and down based on demand, rarity, and condition. Right now, the $2.5 million Great Basin quarter is an outlier, but it's proof that these coins are highly sought after. Even if you don't find the jackpot coin, a lower-grade error quarter can still fetch you a pretty penny, pun intended. Alright, treasure hunters, now you know the scoop on the 2013 Great Basin quarter dollar. Who knew a humble quarter could be worth more than a mansion? So, go check your pockets, your piggy banks, or that random jar of change you've been ignoring. You never know what you might find. Have you ever held on to some loose change and thought, this can't be worth more than a coffee? Well, grab your coin jars, folks, because today we're diving into the wild world of the 2014 Everglades quarter, a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $2 million. Yes, $2 million. That's more zeros than I've ever seen in my bank account. Stick around because not only are we going to talk about what makes this quarter so valuable, but I'm also going to share a personal story about a time I almost missed out on a valuable coin. Trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. Let's get started. So, what's the deal with this 2014 Everglades quarter? Why is a quarter, worth 25 cents, suddenly worth more than a luxury car collection? It all comes down to a rare error during the minting process. This particular coin has a unique double-die error, fancy coin lingo for, the design was stamped twice, and it's slightly misaligned. Think of it like a factory goof that turned into a golden ticket for collectors, but wait, there's more. The Everglades design itself is iconic. It features two birds, a snowy egret and a roseate spoonbill, doing their thing in the Florida wetlands. Add in that minting mistake, and boom, you've got a collector's dream. Out of the millions of Everglades quarters made, only a handful have this error, which is why collectors are willing to cough up $2 million for one. Now, here's where it gets relatable. I once found a rare coin at the bottom of a random junk drawer, a 1955 penny with a double-die error. At the time, I had no idea it was worth anything, so I almost tossed it. But something told me to check it out. Turns out, that little penny was worth $1,200. It's like finding treasure in your own home. And that's why I always say, check your coins before you spend them. Who knows, you could be holding the next Everglades quarter without even realizing it. Speaking of stories, there's a Florida man, no joke, who found one of these Everglades quarters while buying a soda at a gas station. He had it authenticated, and now he's $2 million richer. Can you imagine? All because he took a second look at his change. So, how do you know if you've got one? First, grab a magnifying glass and check the quarter's date, 2014. Next, inspect the details of the birds and the text. Look for any doubling or unusual patterns. If it looks suspicious, it's worth getting it checked by a professional coin grader. Trust me, a few bucks for authentication could turn into a life-changing payday. Alright, now you know why the 2014 Everglades quarter is the king of loose change. But here's the thing, coins like this are hiding everywhere. They're in old coffee cans, under couch cushions, and yes, even at the bottom of junk drawers. The key is knowing what to look for and taking the time to check. So, here's your challenge, go through your coins tonight. Who knows? Maybe you'll find a $2 million treasure hiding in plain sight. And if you do, you owe me a soda, or at least a shout-out. Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 2017 Ellis Island quarter, a coin that's turning heads for its jaw-dropping value of $1.9 million. Yep, you heard that right. A quarter worth more than a mansion. So, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's find out why this little coin is worth big bucks. So, what makes the 2017 Ellis Island quarter so special? At first glance, it looks like any other quarter from your local laundromat. It features a heartwarming design of immigrant families arriving at Ellis Island, and on the flip side, the classic George Washington portrait. But here's the kicker, it's not just about the design, it's about the mistakes. Coin collectors love mistakes. This specific quarter has a rare error called a double die on the reverse side. Basically, the engravings on the back look slightly doubled, like they've had one too many cups of coffee. This type of error happens during the minting process and makes the coin extremely valuable to collectors. Think of it as a factory defect, but one that turns a 25-cent piece into a fortune. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Dave, is a total skeptic when it comes to coin hunting. One day, we're sitting around, and I'm going on about how a quarter could be worth $1 million. He laughs and says, "Sure, and my nickel collection will buy me a yacht." Fast forward a week, he's calling me at 11 p.m., screaming, "I think I found one." Spoiler alert, he didn't, but it just goes to show how contagious the thrill of the hunt can be. Now, back to our Ellis Island gem. Only a handful of these era coins are known to exist, and the most recent sale clocked in at $1.9 million at auction. Imagine handing over a quarter at a vending machine, and someone behind you whispers, "That could have bought a Ferrari." Ouch, right? But before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, let's talk about how you can identify one of these bad boys. Grab a magnifying glass and check the reverse side of the quarter. Look closely at the lettering and the figures. If anything looks doubled or slightly off, you might just be holding your ticket to financial freedom. Pro tip: don't clean the coin. That can lower its value faster than you can say, Ellis Island. So, there you have it. The 2017 Ellis Island quarter, a tiny piece of metal with a massive payout potential. Who knew history and treasure hunting could go hand in hand? Now, here's the deal: you've got pockets, purses, and piggy banks full of possibilities. Go check them out. And if you find something interesting, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we've got coming up. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your quarters always be $1 million treasures.